Hi everyone, it's the EnglishSimmer here, and this video is brought to you through the EA Creator Network. It is also tagged as an ad because I was gifted with early access of the brand new expansion pack, The Sims 4 for Rent, so that I could go over everything. I could record all these hopefully helpful videos that will let you explore the pack before it even being out. This is my usual townie and world overview. Also, I want to put it out there, if I pronounce anything incorrectly, please feel free to educate me on pronunciation down below. I have tried to Google some things and I'm gonna try my best, but obviously I am always open to correction. So let's hop in to this honestly beautiful world. Grown from humble roots off the coast of Shisi, Tomarang is lively with local fare, community chaos, and legends of lore. Known for its tight-knit communities and sun-filled shared spaces, Tomarang is a lush landscape of possibilities. Come cozy up with nature or fish around for neighborly niceties and whimsical secrets. Whimsimsical, even. Whether you're flying solo or raising generations, this region offers a warm welcome to any multi-living lifestyle. Sul de Ka. Did you know that these were called world bubbles? Because I had absolutely no idea until the Sims team told me. But it's no surprise that they chose to go with like an evening night theme. Obviously, we do have the night market of Tomarang, which I will go over in like my gameplay video, but go check out this world at night because it does look absolutely stunning. They got the lighting so perfect. Now, I feel like I have to break the bad news of this actually being only 9 lots large, and the lots themselves aren't actually that large. I will say the kind of 2 bigger ones that we have in the pack, one of them is a national park. I personally would just bulldoze the national park. I'm sorry, it doesn't add anything to the world. It's actually a pretty empty lot. So 2 neighborhoods. We're gonna start off in the top neighborhood of Morensong, a bustling neighborhood with pockets of idyllic peace and nooks of neighborly nuance. Morensong is the spot for vibrant communities to thrive, day or night. Stroll through the botanical garden or throw down in a game of playground hopscotch. Even join the night market buzz for some sunset shopping and moonlit munchies. The possibilities are endless. Well, they're not technically endless. I have to let you all know now, the temple is just a rabbit hole. When your sim actually does go to visit the temple, they will just disappear in front of it, and then when they respawn outside, they will usually have a moodlet to do with the temple, and you'll also get a little notification. There is obviously the night market. It does wrap around like a couple of the blocks. I will say I did have fun exploring it. The stores are actually pretty cool because there's like little places for your sims to actually sit and eat, which I felt growing together was actually missing when it came to the world environment. It's not as bustling as I kind of expected it to be, but I feel like The Sims 4 doesn't have like loads of sims around at all times anyway, so I'm kind of used to that. There was definitely like townies hanging around and I did see people. It's just not like as bustling as say the city living festivals. There is also a little kids park in the middle of this. It's near one of the residential rental lots. It's actually really cute. They just have like a couple of monkey bars, and then there is a place to play marbles and also play hopscotch. Obviously, with some of these lots being on the smaller side, I feel like you're not always gonna have the room, especially if you want to build like little apartment blocks on them and stuff, to have outdoor activities maybe in a courtyard or something. So just keep in mind that that space does exist, and also makes it feel slightly open worldy because kids will actually be playing on there and then your kids can go interact with them. It's just kind of the more lively area. There are 4 lots. We have one 40 by 30, which is actually a completely empty residential which kind of faces the water. Then there is one 20 by 20, which is a brand new residential rental. Obviously, this has a couple of units in it. The property owner actually lives on the upper level, and then the lower level is just a completely empty residential rental, so you can move into it if you want to. There is one 20 by 15, which is a residential, just a classic home that we are used to seeing in The Sims 4. And then there's one 30 by 30, which is of course the national park. The completely empty 40 by 30 is Rokaya Rockside. Apart from the dense streetways, this rocky headlands delivers a picturesque view of Shisi sea. And for those who like a bit more bustle, it's only a hopscotch away from the beloved night market. The 20 by 20 residential rental is Takasoi. The unit rating that you can actually rent out is only 2 stars. It doesn't actually have an oven in it, but I quite like that because you can obviously get the pressure / rice cooker if you want to save space, or you can buy your own cooker. So it's kind of like they didn't have like the money to kind of do it up to its fullest potential. The rent is 65 simoleons per day. The lease length is 7 days. A simple dwelling with life's necessities and an ease to accessing city life. And it also has the bracing breezes lot trait. And then the property owners live upstairs in 9 Takasoi. This is the Kaya Putri family. Since the unfortunate microwavable water incident that resulted in the loss of their parents, Kaya and Wulan, Venetia has had to take on the major responsibilities. As both big sister and guardian, it can be hard juggling a teenager and tenant shenanigans all under one roof. Girlie has her hands full. A 1-floor walk up to an expansive space overlooking the neighborhood. She is queen of the castle, and this has the natural light. Next up is the 30 by 30 national park, filled with luscious flora and fauna. This garden is a welcome place to relax, restore, and reconnect with nature. Like I said, I personally would just bulldoze this and either add a different park in here, or I would change it to actually be a residential rental. But that's the thing about smaller worlds. Like, I always want different activities for my Sims to do, like in their neighborhoods. And that's why I would always prefer more lots, just so I can have like a little bit of diversity when it comes to lot types. And then finally, it is the 20 by 15 residential. I actually quite like this house. There is a lot challenge, which is maintenance troubles, which you can actually only apply to like the traditional household residentials that we are used to having in The Sims 4. I'm fairly sure it just means that you have to look after your own house instead of having like a property owner come over. I do need to play around with that more. So I understand why they added in like a classic residential. However, I personally would have maybe converted this to a full residential rental, but that's just personally me. I actually did do that, so there will be a video coming, and obviously once this pack is released to everyone, I'll upload that build on the gallery in case you do want to switch it up to actually being apartments. But it is Chiwit Chiwa Kanto. Centered to all that Morensong has to offer, this renovated shop house is perfect for any lively lifestyle with an out on the town attitude. This actually has the other lot challenge that is introduced. Good news, mold is obviously opt-in. It is a lot challenge, so you don't need to apply that to any build if you don't want to. There is a dampness in the air here that doesn't feel right. Keep puddles mopped, trash from overflowing, and plumbing objects clean, or mold piles will start to appear, and beware of the deadly black mold pile. And then the second neighborhood is kind of the less built up area. Definitely more lush, more green, more forests and jungles and beaches, which obviously leads to having more things to do with the environment here. So there is actually a cave that we can explore. Once again, it is just a rabbit hole. Comes up with like different choices of what you want to do. You can actually find a new collection in here, which is tassels. And then there is the tiger sanctuary, which you can actually sneak into in night, which sounds like a silly idea, but you can do it. You can also donate to the tiger sanctuary. It is once again just another rabbit hole. And then there is also some lore about Tomarang if you actually go view the statue that is next to the tiger sanctuary. There's also a ton of fishing spots like around the whole world, because obviously it is on the sea and also has like rivers running through it. But this neighborhood is Sahpa. It's made of 2 20 by 20 lots, 2 30 by 20 lots, and 1 20 by 15 lot. So 5 lots in total in this area. Offers a more relaxed lifestyle along the river. After a dip in the sea or some much needed beach time, gather around at the Screaming Gecko for a drink or two. Feeling warm-hearted from all the sun, visit the Suli Tiger Sanctuary to support local conservation. No matter the choice, Sahpa is the ideal spot for a go-with-the-flow attitude. The first 30 by 20 is another residential rental. This is actually, I'm fairly sure, the one that we saw in the trailer. This is Sungai Point. There's a family that already live here, a big family up on the top floor, and then below is actually their aunt empty, and then there's one other spare unit that you can move into that is empty. The empty one is 11C. It's a 4-star rated unit. The rent is actually only 65 simoleons per day, which I don't think is too bad. Like, it is a 2-bedroom, an enticing unit for any family just getting started. However, it does start off also with the mold lot challenge. Then right next door, you actually have Auntie T, who we were definitely introduced to in the trailer. She lives again in a 4-star. Her rent is 65 simoleons per day. The family above don't actually own this. They are not the property managers. It's just some random dude. I kind of wish they had made it the land grabs who just like owned everything if you didn't have like a property manager actually like tied into your game. A household of 1 may seem lonely, but not with T's entire family living above her, wearing the badge of weird and hell yeah, I can relate to Auntie in that way with pride. Ty's quirky existence extends beyond her interior decorating. However, not everything can be included in her open book. Sometimes solitary has its confidential perks beyond concealing her clown painting, that is. Yep, you heard it here first. She has a sad clown painting right above her bed. I love her. She lives in 11B. The bright side is that the clown painting can be removed once the tenant clears out, and she has great acoustics in her apartment. And then, like I said, on the top floor, you have the family home. This has a unit rating of 4. They are not the property owners. The rent is 180 simoleons per day. Keep in mind, if you are playing as a property manager of any of these buildings, there is some wiggle room when it comes to rent, so that rent isn't like set in stone. But this is the Linsaja family. When it comes to the Linsaja household, it certainly takes a village, caring for both a child and elderly parents. Lien and Alon have their hands full. Luckily, with multiple streams of income, making rent is a breeze. A bustling house, on the other hand, is cause for some chaos. Luckily, it only takes a step outside to regain some peace. Grandiose and lavish, this suite is close to town essentials and oozing with decorative possibilities, and has the homey lot trait. Absolutely no mold in sight on this one. Funny how the family doesn't get mold, but the one that our Sims can move into does. Next up is the lounge, which is on one of the 20 by 20 lots. This is known as the Screaming Gecko, which, what a name for a lounge. Feckin' love it. An open air local hotspot for social gatherings and steamy exchanges. Yes, there's a hot tub. Yes, it's included in this pack. Yes, it's in the lounge. Whether you're here for live music, the curated cuisine, or just taking a dip, it's sure to be a scream, and that has the convivial lot trait. The other 30 by 20, which is a completely empty lot, again by a beach, is Tam Nang Sands. Nang and Sands together is so hard for me to say. Catch a glimpse of aquatic life floating by or soak up the sun. This inspirational site comes with beachfront access and exceptional views of Kosapa's crystal clear waters. Has bracing breezes and is also off the grid if you want a cheeky little challenge. The 20 by 15 lot is where the Bunma household live. From traditional roots, the Bunma family relies on strong familial bonds to get them through life's ups and downs. Bua insisted her son's family move in with her so that she could help raise her grandson, who is a little toddler, Sood. He can be a bit clingy at times, but Bua cherishes being able to pass down her generations of wisdom, while Kasim and Nin work hard and enjoy newlywed life. And nestled up the shore, this cozy stilt house is settled just off the path into town. With luscious flora surrounding the grounds, anyone with a green thumb can feel at home. And finally, to wrap it up, we have the last 20 by 20, which is Isda Riverfront, a tranquil oasis just upstream from any and all commotion. This land rests quietly encased by nature's most relaxing elements, complete with a worthwhile fishing spot. When it comes to the townies, I'm really glad that the team decided to go with multi-generational households. I feel like that's what a lot of players are gonna get out of this pack, so it was kind of nice to see that represented actually within the townies who already live here. I will say the gays are represented when it comes to the Lin Sajia family, because there are actually 2 dads in that household, and they're also elders, which I also don't feel like we get that rep super often. But unfortunately, I didn't accidentally have Growing Together installed in this early access, so I couldn't see if anyone had really like any like sentiments towards each other or like drama towards one another. another. I know a couple of the elders have like the wise trait, which is obviously new in this pack, but apart from that, there's not like loads of stuff going on in their relationships. I know that the property owner of the first building doesn't get on great with her teenage sister. They're actually just acquaintances, so they probably don't really see like eye to eye. But everyone else gets on really well with their fam, and there's not really too many enemies to be made, I feel. And just to give a couple of my thoughts, yes, this is on a smaller side of the world. I personally don't really think the park was necessary, especially because it's in the neighborhood that kind of already has like a little park, and it's also not like a botany garden. Like, it's not like this lush landscape. I would have liked to see just a couple more lots, so again, you could get that diversity in when it comes to changing up different lots and having like a couple of different things, especially if you have all the packs. And it did feel weird to me that when I first loaded into the game, there wasn't like a fully empty rental residential. Obviously, the first one that I spoke about has a property owner on the property, so moving in there kind of gives you that experience of living as a resident. And then the second one, you technically can buy that because it doesn't have a property owner, but it feels quite weird for there to already be two residents living in there. Yes, you can always like evict them either through gameplay now or the managed worlds, which we've always been able to do. But if you move yourself in and then start renting it out to them, I don't know, it just feels a little bit weird to do that. I would have really liked it if they had just given us a full empty residential rental that we could have purchased from the get-go, just to kind of like get the gameplay going from the very beginning so that it's easier to understand. I definitely had struggles with it, but I'll talk about that in my gameplay video. I do think it'll actually be a little bit of a challenge to build like units and stuff. I know that when I attempted to build in this pack, I was really looking at like the shells around me, which there are a few of them obviously for like an urban built up area. You kind of expect that. There's a lot of shells that look like shops and things of that nature. But I was definitely looking to those for inspiration because they were quite like small footprints. So I kind of get the smaller lot sizes because again, like the things around you have those smaller footprints. So I do feel as if it is possible to get like multi-dwelling units going on even on smaller lots. But definitely let me know how you lot feel about this. I hope this video was helpful. I hope you enjoyed learning more about the world and also the townies that live in it. Big thank you to EA for providing me with early access to this expansion. Let me know what your favorite things are about this world, your not so favorite things about this world, and I will speak to you all probably in a couple of hours for my CreatorSim overview. Bye!